usually been the Kaisa. Or they can go towards the Camille if it's it. I love the fact that we got into pick and ban before the bans have been completely done. And so we can just take a gander at this because the Camille is still open.
Invictus Gaming still focusing that bottom side and in fact banning away the Kaisa themselves to force something different. We do see the Camille ban from RNG, so looking at that Varus first again.
Remember last game, I said that Ning was sporting the MLXG build. Guess who heard that coming back into this? So with jungle being focused on so much, perhaps it's the Olaf first pick. We'll have to see.
It's not the Kaiser, but the Varus is still up, and that's the thing. RNG, they're usually the team that will first pick it. So the way I see this, they take the Alistar, they say, IG, you can have that if you want. We have an answer ready to go.
And we have to remember how Gragas was the answer for RNG in Asian Games esports demonstration event that was banned away by Invictus Gaming. So they are still prioritizing shutting Ming down, keeping him off of engage and setup to give space for Uzi. But Jackie Love, as you mentioned, looking at that Varus right away, gonna try to bring it back in Game 5.
They're burning down the time just thinking about what Uzi would pick here. No Kaisa available to him, no Varus available to him. Time Kench gets picked away, and usually the pick into the Alistar is the Braum. If they get a Braum here, we might see an opportunity for a Vayne pick.
The Braum pick could be big for them for certain. It depends on where they want to prioritize their support. They know that the Alistar is locked in, so they don't need to reveal the support yet. They prioritize their jungler. They prioritize Ning getting his Talia. Now the big thing with this Varus, 100% of the playoffs games banned or picked away from Jackie Love. Hasn't been given the choice at all, and for good reason. It's his most comfortable champion of choice. I feel like RNG may ash into it and kind of repeat what we saw before, but they have the answers ready if they want them.
Xayah could also be a very strong answer. Excellent wave clear, great chase potential, and plenty of survivability. The timer runs down, and it is locked in. Again, bottom lane focus from Royal Never Give Up. And the Rise follow-up. Xiaohu coming strong in Game 5.
There we have it. I mean, if any questions were coming through about what the pick would be, Rise locked in blind. Doesn't matter if Rookie is going towards the Vel'Koz. In fact, they do it last. So they force them to either pick the Braum, Vel'Koz, or one of them are getting banned in second phase.
And I wonder if they consider flexing that to let me, because that doesn't seem like an RNG thing to do, and not in a Game 5. We have full expectations that that top lane pick will be a tank. Maybe an Ornn, maybe a Sion, something of those likes that can contribute to the team fighting. So RNG can play front to back, can scale to the late game, and can hit that big moment perfectly. IG are the ones who play the carries, but anything is possible for Let Me lately.
And now we're looking at what MLXG can bring, as it's a double jungle ban from Invictus Gaming. Coming in to try and save RNG from a reverse sweep against IG. What has he got in his bag of tricks?
Now, we've seen a few special picks from MLXG during the regular season. The Lethal Tempo Nocturne is what he came out with not so long ago, and everyone else just started, piling on in with that. Olaf is still there. We've been echoing that. I already said Nocturne, just anything that looks to dive into the Talia, because while Talia gets onto the map faster, dish out quite a bit of damage. If she gets leapt on, she has problems.
And that's the risky thing here. For Invictus Gaming, Vel'Koz, whilst it's good for the laning phase against the Rise, if they just look at that and they say Olaf's the way to go, then you can't afford to do that. So what I respect here from IG is that Urgot can go between two lanes. I would expect it's the Shy that picks it up, but they save knowledge of what the jungler will be for Rookie to have a better laning experience.
And IG, despite being put on red side by RNG's side selection. Oh, find that Urgot. There's the Nocturne.
There it is.
There's the Ornn. It's an all-in composition from RNG. Chips on the table, boys. What have you got?
Nocturne was his pick in the summer split. And so for me, what we want to see is Ning get out early. Track the Nocturne early. You need deep rewards in that jungle, or he's going to hop on you level 6.
But I really want to know what Rookie's going here. The Vel'Koz could work. The Zoe has been popping off on. The Chase is what he's going to switch to at the last second. The Urgot and the Chase can go between both lanes, so it's entirely up to them as to where they would like to put it. Rookie with the carry pants on, but picking an early and mid-game type of champion means they want to do this early.
Invictus Gaming returning to the style that has been so strong for them. Lane Kingdom. Since Worlds last year, they have been wrecking teams, and though they didn't get to show up on the international stage, everyone knows who they are. They have become household names, but they have yet to claim a title in the LPL. Now they stand before Royal Never Give Up, one of the strongest teams in the world, in Game 5.
And I feel like that Invictus Gaming learned a few lessons when they went up against JDG in a Game 5 setting, because that was a scrappy one. And this game almost forces you to do that. IG, Rookie, Ning, Talia, and Jace, that's what they want. They're going to be forcing the Nocturne out early. If he comes out early for a fight, he may not be able to come back alive.
And the stage could not be more set right now. RNG looking to continue their run of dominance. IG ready to unseat the Kings. Coming into a Game 5 with comfortable champions, with strong champions across the board. The styles, we know what they are for these teams. And when you watch them collide on the Rift, you know exactly what you're in for. But it's absolutely brilliant either way.
Just one game is what he gets in the finals. And he needs to be able to make it count. Clutch is what Frost said on the desk, and that's the chance that he has.
The gold medalist himself, MLXG. This is the roster that defeated the best team that Korea could offer. This currently is the best team in the world. And Invictus Gaming are neck and neck with them. Speaking to the strength of the LPL, to the power that we bring, it all comes down to this. One final game. Royal Never Give Up, chasing the golden year against Invictus Gaming, standing defiant in the face of Kings. Can they bring them down and begin their own empire anew?
The roar from the crowd says it all as we get into this 5th game. We don't need the silver scrapes here. We're straight onto the Rift. The action you would expect coming into a 5th game, maybe slower pace. That's what a lot of best of 5 series bring about. You get Game 5, you get team fights. You get slow scaling games in the late game. But I have a feeling that IG is going to see that ideology and throw it out the window. They've picked the Jace. They've got an Urgot. They are looking to start this one off strong, as IG is always want to do.
It's a good level 1 from Invictus Gaming, too, with the Braum. So you'd expect for them to just run on in. Oh, no, they're not going to see it.
They step in. The Wards will spot this out. Immediate pause coming into this. Got to make sure all of your gear is up to par. If your monitor flickers, you take care of that.
Oh, yeah.
Everything is on the line in this game. No chances.
The fact that literally your world seed, your career is defined by this. That Rookie, a man that never been in the LPL finals, let alone get that trophy. So now that he's got here, he better make it count. So for him, it means the world. Sure, you could look back at his international performance, but that wasn't at the World PL Championships, and so he needs to get it. So if it's Invictus Gaming, and if he so much as hears, my mouse isn't clicking right, he's pressing pause right quick.
He's going right in.
He's slamming that.
I mean, you know the state of the world right now. You want RNG versus KT in the finals. That's the matchup you're after. There's nerves on the side of RNG, and the thing is, if they finish second, they could be in KT's group. That's where things get very confusing.
You just saw Uzi on your screen looking very nervous. This isn't the laughing and smiling Titan that we saw in games 1 and 2, even in game 3. This is the mortal that we've seen through 2017, 2016, 2015. Years have led to this moment and have conditioned him to game 5.
And we've heard him in interviews. He's learned from all of that. Proper mental, the mentality counts here. Game 5 is a situation he's fell before. A lot of the times when he's been in the finals, yeah, great, he's been in the finals so many times, but it's only this year that he's constantly clutching it in with Game 5. The victories, being able to hold the trophy, he doesn't want it to slip back.
But he does know what it takes to be victorious. When you look at his opponents in Invictus Gaming, they do not. They haven't made it to the finals, into a Game 5, and won that Game 5. They were lucky to get here. They played very well, but it was a scrappy game against JD Gaming in the semi-finals. But now they're here. They pushed RNG to the limits. Can IG continue the Game 5 trajectory, or will they be able to calm down and play their style?
We've got to question the momentum coming into this. Obviously, Invictus Gaming chasing the reverse sweep against Royal Never Give Up, feeling the fire, but this pause certainly is going to put a damper on things. And we do have a quick update for you. We do have an equipment issue for one of our players. We're getting that resolved as quickly as possible, and then we're going to be getting back into game.
It's that mouse, man. Rookie doesn't want to hear that mouse issue. That being said, it is important to remain calm in this situation. For Invictus Gaming, 100%, because they're the ones that are pushing in and invade. They don't know that that ward's been placed, so for them, with the communication being so heavy, to look for the kill, to look for that information. We're about to come in, and we get to see more about that.
We've loaded back onto the Rift. There's the invade. Invictus Gaming trying to finish off that red buff while in the bottom lane. Uzi and Ming head back on down, and Ming finishes this off.
Uzi with a quick little attempt at maybe stealing away the red buff, just throwing the Q at the bush, but very well kited from Ning. He's going to be able to navigate through. That level 1 invade is successful from IG, but they were aware, RNG, and you get to see what MLXG does in response.
It's going to be difficult for MLXG, because ordinarily you'd want to switch sides. Look and challenge the enemy red buff. If he does that, he knows that pushing top lane is not in his favor. The Shy is pushing now. Same with Rookie. Top side is just a trap. MLXG has to just take that L. He can't look for that invade.
Now he's looking at the Scuttle Crab. We'll see where he heads next, because there is a ward spotting him at the blue buff and another ward at the red buff entrance.
Yeah. So this part is the known information. He can definitely take the Scuttle. Ning will be on the bottom side of the map. It's where he goes past that. It may actually just be Gromp and back, or Gromp Raptors do a full clear and recall, depending on where he wants to go. But during all of this time, you know full well that Ning can do the same thing and get a red buff on top.
Look at the lane kingdom from Invictus Gaming. Bottom lane pushes, mid lane pushes, top lane pushes, and they've got vision of the jungle for MLXG.
That was a great trade back by Xiaohu, but remember, if you look at the inspiration tree pickup from Rookie, he's still sustaining out quite a bit, and he's going to be getting the biscuits rather soon. So while it's a great trade, I mean, he's still doing well for himself.
It's also a refillable potion for the Rise, so that's not a winning trade if ever you go even against the corrupting potion. So as it stands, Rookie still maintains control, still does his role as a mid laner for the team of IG. RNG, they can't control the mid lane until they get the mana stacked up for the Rise as a Jace. Pushes much more successfully.
IG playing towards that mid-game composition, have to make something happen in this early game, in this mid-game to break the game open. So far, Ning has got his pick of the litter. All 3 lanes pushing in and coming up with an early advantage. We'll see where he decides to head, as MLXG not going for that Raptor camp before turning towards Krug next.
He was able to pick it up. That being said, the fact that Ning is going to get his own Krug, he's going to complete with his own Raptor camp. Ning is going to be in a really good position experience-wise, because he triple buffed him, and now he's just taking the most valuable camps on the map. So MLXG is going to be behind in level, already is, and so when it's Ning that reaches level 6 and he looks down the bottom lane, that's a play waiting to happen, and MLXG needs to be faster or try and find a way to keep his bottom lane protected if that comes down.
Currently a full camp down on that red. It's the Shy, happy to take the Urgot into tank matchup.
It's a hard line.
Xiaohu's really slow to knock back Rookie. No hesitation, but Xiaohu holds on to the Rune Prison and walks away.
The empowered Rune Prison too, so there is no way out there from not Ning. So there we have it. Rookie gets a way out, but he used his summoner for that. So that's going to be a repeat gank coming.
Yeah, the phase rush was super clutch there, however, and keep your eyes on that phase rush for Xiaohu for any forthcoming ganks as well. That is very handy for navigating around a Taliyah. Now, Taliyah does have flash, so in terms of the 2v2, you may still see them go for that play, but this is also where MLXG gets a sniff. He sees the flash used in that middle lane. His eyes light up at the opportunity that he may even consider the 2v2.
Not only flash, but also the cleanse. MLXG at level 4 is on the prowl. No camps for him to take right now, so he's trying to maneuver around for positioning around his side of the map, but so far, he's having some trouble catching up to Ning.
He has no information on where Ning's pathing went. Because Ning went Krugs into Raptors, doesn't know when the Raptors is respawning. So he can never really take an opportunity that Ning going, let's say bottom lane, for him to now invade onto Raptors. So that information is not there. But that being said, if Ning goes for another gank and if it doesn't pay off, that's so good for MLXG because he can actually just accrue some experience to level 6.
Now this wave is pushing in and Ning is on this side of the map. He's only level 5, so doesn't have Weaver's wall, but as the wave starts to crash, that dive starts to look a little bit more enticing. The Award will spot this out. Ning, with an early sweeper, finally clears out some of this vision of RNG.
Yeah, that does mean, though, we're looking towards a level 6 breakpoint as the big first thing. Now, I will say that mid laners at level 6 get nothing really from it in terms of damage output. It's just a playmaking ability for the Rise. Nocturne is big for level 6. Let Me is massive for level 6. And there's a chance that either Let Me comes down or they even consider going to his lane with the roaming capabilities that they have. And note that RNG, if they ever get one of their side lanes going or solo laners going, 1-3-1's a viable strategy for this composition.
They need to make it to that point, though, and right now the lane kingdom from IG is holding strong. Uzi finally gets a chance to push back against Jackie Love and Baolan, reclaiming control of the lane with an earlier recall. That means Jackie Love will have more effective items as he makes his way back in with a teleport. And it is Vamp Scepter boots. So once again, Jackie Love taking the safe approach in lane, whereas Uzi clearly going the aggressive.
Yeah, he has to go towards a Blade of the Rune King, so having the Vamp Scepter and then doubling, putting down the Control Ward is what I like. So extra movement speed, extra Control Ward, sets up for Ning a little bit better because he's been trying to find a gank access to the bottom lane and the wards are getting a little bit annoying. So he may be able to actually look for a gank in the bottom lane now.
Now level 6 is taken by Ming.
First.
Yeah. Blue buff is currently being pinged out. Ning is trying to scout out where is this going? What is happening? What is the play?
Mid
Looks
lane
like it could be mid lane.
Like it. That's for certain. Jace, no flash. He's about to get gifted the blue buff, I would expect. Ooh. If it doesn't reset. No, we're just going to...
Oh, no.
Rookie was on the way, but just a little bit too late. They're still staying for this, though, but there's a lot of worked ground. But 4 members of IG are here.
But let's call it a blessing in disguise, because we add how many seconds to Rookie not being mid lane, where there was a Nocturne and an Alistar waiting. Now Alistar goes mid lane, the play's diffused. They were going to drop ship him in with the Rise up.
Now Ning is looking to chase up onto Let Me. Call of the Forge God is ready, but
this is a long road.
Managed to get the knock up, but gets pinned into place. That's the Fear Beyond Death. Let Me's low. The Shy is looking for some damage. He's running deep into enemy territory. Flashes over the wall. He's buying time right now. The teleport out of this. No disdain for the Shy. Ning with the shove.
No!
First blood, Invictus Gaming.
So close to getting the teleport out. There was no flick available as well for Ning. He doesn't even get that off. It's purely damage, and they get the kill.
He used his flash too to get in range. So close to make it happen. I was about to call him a Frenchman. I was trying to call him Soaz on that one. He was so close.
But IG collapse and slow Let Me down on that Ornn in the top lane. The Shy gets the chance to push and no teleport. Means a lot of minions missed, but luckily it is a cannon wave. And MLXG, good guy, is there to soak the experience in gold in the meanwhile. But now IG know where that Nocturne is. They know that he's level 7, and they know that he's going to be on the prowl.
It's going to be the most important one. That's why you're seeing a little bit more control wards starting to get picked up from MLXG. Now we get some time to really think about that, thankfully. Because that play you would think would open up the top side of the map a little bit more. But remember, with MLXG being in the top side of the map, level 7, just trying to look for an ulti. I mean, he hasn't been able to get the range in both mid or bottom lane. Top lane's a start. It's a start. Ornn can set you up. Just use his ultimate, so he can't do it too soon. Yeah. But I would love to see it.
Definitely possible for them as well, moving forwards. You've got the Rise, of course, that can go towards there. Even Ming was being unlocked, looking towards mid. Well, if they swap lanes, Uzi and Ming instead on a dime, then they could hard swap towards top lane, get the kills and break turrets. All of these things are possible for the side of RNG. For IG as well, though, as it's been a fairly passive, very slow, cerebral game number 5 that it's not surprising to see, but eventually IG are the ones that have to make the plays because they have really strong mid-game breakpoints of lethality builds. I'm namely saying Rookie in this case on the Jace. Ghostblade done, very good chance for them to start sieging or making plays with Rookie around the map. So IG will most likely still be the ones who pull the trigger first, and it's on how RNG reacts.
Yeah, And I think the teleports are so crucial because you know that Rookie is going to be looking for trades mid, trying to go bottom lane for a dive. The dive is prepared for. The net is supposed to be there for RNG, so double teleport could save him with a Nocturne ultimate to boot. That's been the strategy. But the issue is if your lanes start falling, if they start using teleports to get back into their own matchup, the bottom lane's an easy access. So it's nice to see Ning start to challenge these solo lane matchups so he can leave an opening there for the bottom lane.
And do take into consideration as well that if RNG are the ones who start the play and MLXG turns off the lights, it's impossible to teleport. You don't know where they are, what the play is, you're relying on communication between your team, and you will be late. So these are all things that you have to remember when the first fight breaks out, when it happens, and we get on the recall.
We'll also have to take stock of how these lanes end up going, who ends up getting the advantage over the duration of it. Because certainly those core items will be so important as we look for that, but still Invictus Gaming looking for those mid-game breakpoints, just trying to push their advantages in this laning phase. As Ning, with that first blood, passes it over to Rookie this time.
Let's take a look at the control wards around mid lane. 3. One to the bottom is just replaced, but it's actually much better because it's out right now a little bit closer to the bottom side of the map. Can now see any wards allowing him to go bottom lane. 2 in the top side. He has options. So the play we're talking about going to the bottom lane, equally accessible top side. We need to see the duo between Ning and Rookie work for the next few minutes.
There's a chance that Ming considers making a play in the bottom lane as well. Flash Alistar could find the mark. Varus has the flash, can react, but he may not expect a Nocturne to follow in. Some Alistar combos are just combos.
We'll see if that's what RNG go for, as both junglers hovering around that lane. Complete river control from Invictus Gaming as those control wards give so many avenues. That's flash from Baolan. There we go. That's the Nocturne combo you were talking about. They lock it down, and MLXG finds RNG's first kill.
Even layered up by Xayah's own E, so the snare on top of snare. Job well done to kill out Baolan.
And it's just a kill secure in a very smart position. It goes towards Uzi's lane, and MLXG is the one who picks it up as well. So matching the strengths of Ning currently on the Rift. And that was just Baolan that goes down. That was just the Braum who steps up, and an Alistar walking up to you is not really meaningful until a Nocturne shows up, you're ignited, and you realize that you have no chance.
He's been playing so exceptional throughout this entire series to try and keep JackeyLove alive in the Tom Kenches in earlier games. Now he needs to hold his ground in lane, not step up as the aggressor, but as the protector, in order to keep his carries alive once again, because it all comes down to this. Meanwhile, with MLXG off the map, Invictus Gaming will use that river control to convert into an early mountain.
Yeah, and the next one's going to be Mountain 2, so it's going to be stacks on stacks. It gives Invictus Gaming an opportunity to scale into the late game if they can actually just net the Baron. So it's going to be a lot more focused on Baron plays if they can get the second Mountain.
That's a very hopeful start for IG with the Dragon RNG, especially when your Varus is Blade of the Ruin King build and can shred those objectives. So moving forwards, turrets could fall easily with the Jace build, but objectives like Baron could fall very easily with JackeyLove's Blade of the Ruin King.
Stormrazors has been finished off for Uzi down in that lane. JackeyLove with his own recall, not finishing off his Blade of the Ruin King yet, but still trying to keep
moving
pace.
on the map right now.
And IG, they're just patrolling around, still dominating vision on this river.
What can you do here? I mean, Ultimate is not just up yet for MLXG. He's still now looking for the play. I mean, he's in the area. My biggest thing is going to be, while IG has been setting up for this, if they ever look for that dive, I mean, Xayah still has her ultimate. Flash has actually just been up the entire time. It's going to be difficult now that Ming can soak up so much damage with his own ultimate.
Sometimes it's not just going for the all-in dive. It could be as simple as locking them into an enclosed area and having Rookie and Varus on JackeyLove on Varus just pelt spells at you constantly. It'd be enough to push you out of lane in its entirety, and that could be pressure on a turret. They've got more things than just taking the fights, where I would say contrasting that RNG, it's picks, it's kills, it's looking for fights, looking for team fights.
And you've got to imagine how RNG's map is looking right now. Barely any vision inside of their own jungle after that Invictus Gaming push makes stepping out of lane so very unsafe. Normally the darkness is Nocturne's terrain, but this time he's forced to take an early recall as he heads back and completes his warriors to try to match Ning. And the laning phase will extend, will continue. RNG looking to scale up. get to that mid and late game team fight, whereas Invictus Gaming going to try to stop them with their own mid-game strengths. But right now, IG have been doing a good job of controlling this side of the map. We've got to turn our attention to what's next. Rift Herald is up, and Mountain Dragon will be spawning soon.
And so that's why Ning is in the top side at the moment. If he can find a pick, the Shy, looking for it, onto Let Me, even just bring the Jace top side, they can look for a Rift Herald pickup and then look for the mid lane damage.
But RNG are the ones with the vision set up first. You can see it on the minimap. Control was littered through the top side river. The only one that IG have is in the pit itself. That will give them knowledge if it started, and it may even spot the Alistar as he clears it, knowing that the lane swap is incurred. So now, whilst the red buff still is nice, you have to look at what comes after the fact.
The Shy takes Disdain under the turret. Call of the Forge God. They're getting a lot of damage. Uzi needs to
get
catch
out
up, though, and they will find it. Uzi finds his first kill of Game 5.
The bulk of Invictus Gaming are sitting mid. This could be a trade, but RNG is actually moving away from the tower.
They're trying to pull back and defend. That was Flash and Realm Warp used by Xiaohu to get away from Invictus Gaming, making this Rift Herald unsafe.
Yeah, it's risky to commit yourself to the Rift Herald, so they are going to go back towards the top lane out of turret, but they lose an entire wave of minions. Luckily for them, the next one's a cannon wave, but IG already hitting on that wave as it crashes earlier.
Let Me completes the teleport, tries to clear it out, but you can see this mid-game push as
Ning and
IG continue to shove. The minion wave is cleared in time as Piercing Arrow is completed, and the Shy teleports back top to stop Rookie, but IG are still holding their ground mid.
That means it's one more wave for IG if they can threaten mid. You need Xiaohu, Let Me, and MLXG to team up as three, but they're
going for it. Xiaohu, Jackie Love finds it. Let Me tries to leap to his aid, but gets flung over the wall and will die. Minion wave gets cleared out, but Invictus Gaming break open mid.
That's not going to stop just yet. I mean, 2 kills, 25 seconds. They're looking for an inner tower.
Yeah, they're still going. IG pounced on the no flash of Xiaohu, and they're able to keep pushing forwards with the pressure, with the tempo that they have gained for themselves. They can back away, they can clear vision, they can set up at the Rift Herald. They have just made a huge momentum swing in their favor.
That first turret split amongst the team, but 1,000 gold advantage. As for they move to the Rift Herald, and there's no way RNG can approach even the river safely as Rookie finishes off his blue buff. Invictus Gaming, once again in Game 5, find themselves with an early lead.
Let's take a look at this, because RNG didn't expect it. Rise comes up, gets picked immediately. This was just fun. I mean, get flinged over the wall, so there's no way out. They knew that Uzi was topside. He was rotating if they had committed to the tower, but he didn't expect them to just all in that quickly.
And the conscious choice from Xiaohu was to step up. He thought he'd be able to clear the wave without being caught out of position, but he's against the Varus, and Jackie Love pulls the trigger with no hesitation, and suddenly Xiaohu wishing he didn't step up to clear that wave without the flash available.
And the way that Jackie Love used the Chains of Corruption immediately after the auto attack, as if he was still in the auto lock animation from having such base low attack speed, baiting Xiaohu forward with that. There's a reason this champion has been 100% pick and ban for IG for so long. Showing some real big comfort here, but now we see ourselves in the 1-3-1 for Invictus Gaming. Trying to buy more opportunities for Ning to look for split push.
For me, what that means for Invictus Gaming, sending Jackie Love mid and having Ning rotate that, a lot of protection for them. Allows the deeper vision from Ning to actually being placed around Raptors, but then second Dragon, they're actually going forward immediately.
Yeah, and hitting this one straight away, Mountain number 2 is huge. RNG, they've got vision. MLXG at the very least could come in and try and steal if he wants, but he might just throw the Q.
It's in.
There's the paranoia. Does he decide to take it? He does. The Realm Warp, the target is Jackie Love, lands the fear. Ning going low. Chains of Corruption misses. Xiaohu and Uzi still firing. They get the damage onto Ning. Jackie Love sidesteps the knockup, but the wall blocks it. Jackie Love still firing. Uzi chases him down and gets himself the kill. Uzi with the double. Rookie forced to run as the arrows miss. The flash exhaust, and Uzi wants it. Uzi will get it. A triple kill to the Mad Dog.
How fitting is it for Jackie Love versus Uzi to be the finalizing factor? Here we go.
They've locked down the Shy. Uzi cannot approach. He's trying to play around the minions. He flashes under the turret. He thought he could get the kill, but with Let Me taking the thumbs up as RNG get the ace.
They're way too far from the Shy is just taken apart by RNG, the 3 remaining members. Xiaohu over the wall does so much work. RNG, they get the fight that they needed, and they set themselves up to succeed.
Yeah, and on top of that, it was the Ornn ultimate that really split up the fight and allowed Uzi to get the 1v, or at least the 2v2 that he required. This was fun. Jump right in, and it was just such a sectioned off team fight. You can see the 3 members of Invictus Gaming on the bottom lane. You already talked about the Rise damage coming through. Ornn ultimate, forcing Jackie Love back, and it was that 1v1 where Uzi was able to net it and come back for the kills.
And the craziest thing about that fight is the Baolan, he flashes to block the Ornn ultimate, which gives access to the feathers, which gives access to Uzi to get his maximum damage combo off and takes down Jackie Love with it. Very tragic stuff here from IG, but really, you look at RNG now, you press tab, you're like, that's a 4-0-3 Xayah. That is a big Uzi right now.
2 full items and 2 minion waves ahead of Jackie Love right now. The Mad Dog chasing his 2nd crown in the year of the dog. 20 minutes into the game, and Invictus Gaming's momentum has been completely stalled.
If that last fight didn't tell you something, GA being picked up by MLXG next means he wants to fight more. The last dragon fight actually going in favor of just a little bit, 2 dragons now for IG. Makes it easier for Invictus Gaming to push forward, so that means that RNG has to fight back.
And they place this in the middle lane when the outer is already gone. They want to charge onto the inner, and they will get that. You can see it so low that that is a 1 hit onto the turret. Very good from IG. Could have been used on the top lane outer. Could have been something that opened up the entire map, particularly around the Baron. But breaking mid gives so much mid lane priority and vision control in the blue side jungle that you do get a lot for Baron regardless.
Yeah. And as well, gives you bottom side pressure. The next dragon comes up, sure it's a cloud dragon. In the Elder Dragon comes up, it gives you the opportunity to not just move for the top side pressure, but also then shift vision bot side. So that being said, the immediate attention is the Baron. And it has to be Invictus Gaming that tries to look for a pick with the Varus ultimate. I think Varus ultimate is the key way to look for it. They can't get it off of that just alone. RNG is looking so good with the team fights front to back.
I would expect execution-wise, they want to bait and then turn as best they can. Ideally through vision, not actually starting the objective itself, as their tankiness is very limited, I think it's fair to say, for the side of Invictus Gaming.
It's so scary for Ning and Baolan to try and deny that vision, to watch for where LSG is, because there's the trap. They spring it onto Rookie. Stopwatch stalls this out. You can see IG are racing to there, but he goes down. The immediate pause.
We want an answer for this one. He wants to know, if everything works out well, because this is a big game changer. For Rookie to die in that situation, so close to the Baron too. If they don't pick it up, they at least have control wards for their own picks. IG would have to be on the back foot in what is already a bad team fight situation. They need the pressure to actually be in a good place, and they're about to lose it all.
And it's so smart from RNG so far. They find the Nocturne, they hit level 6, they make a pick. They hit level 11, they make a pick. They use the Rise, they use the Nocturne. They put themselves in side lanes. They put IG under the pressure cooker and give them no good opportunities, no good options, force them to make decisions, and that's when RNG start to pounce. It keeps happening now, and you'll see the makings of this continue as the game progresses. Their composition is very good at it.
It buys space for Uzi to do what he does. And it has to be said, it's not just Uzi who flashed forward in that fight. MLXG following up with him to dive into that back line and act as a body in order to allow Uzi to finish it off. Xiaohu getting the snipe onto Ning in the middle of a team fight. Lands the overcharge amongst 3 people and finds the one that he needs to get the kill. This is a team that is playing at peak efficiency. As Xiaohu trying to ignore the lights, trying to ignore the stage around him. This is a massive arena packed to the brim with fans.
So focused, and that's what we've been seeing thus far. I mean, how the team fight's supposed to be playing out, him playing the Rise so effectively, getting the kills from over the wall, and then you immediately section that, what is a team fight composition, and then getting a pick on the side lane onto Rookie. Great communication from Xiaohu and MLXG that have worked alongside each other for so long. And it's paying off with MLXG coming in for Game 5.
Yeah, the intensity, you can feel it on the faces of these players as well. Uzi's intensity in that stare. A 4-0-3 Xayah at that. Still knows there is so much on the line that there's no time to stop thinking about the next steps.
And look at that rookie, hands shaking as he's waiting out this pause, trying to get to the duration and get back into this. We did have an in-game issue with Baolan. We're going to try to get that resolved as quick as we can to get into this Game 5 and close out the day. Because this is Rookie's second final. This is his first time in the LPL that he has made it this far, but you have to remember, his first split in pro play, he was the LCK champion with KT Arrows.
That's true, and he always wanted to chase that. Come back with that, expectation that was on you. Having the finals experience in the LCK, bringing your talents to the LPL, and never being able to make a final hurts. And then being known as the MVP, but never being able to get the MVP trophy until this year, just because his team started to win. It's all coming together for Invictus Gaming, but feels like RNG are a step ahead. So for them to be able to take this game means so much to his own career.
We've got to speak to the mental state of these teams coming into this. In Game 5, Invictus Gaming, we're laughing and smiling before Champion Select, but as we get into this pause, their faces has completely changed.
Yeah, you have to be focused in this situation, especially now. If you look to what Rookie was thinking, remember, he's the one that dies in this situation. So he's trying to think of 1,000,001 situations that they can get themselves out of this. So while he's not communicating to his own team, he's trying to figure out what he can do, not just in-game, but just being able to tell his team once the pause comes out
what the next steps will be. And remember that these players, for a certain amount of time, aren't even allowed to communicate. They're not allowed to talk to one another. They just sit there and they brew. They think about what's happened. In the case of Rookie, he's just died. So what are the next steps for the IG as a team? That's all he can really think about. It's no point in saying, I'm sorry, as it has already happened. You have to think forwards. Got
to keep your focus in this. And this is where we look at the experience of the RNG roster. Letme, 23 years old. MLXG, 22. Xiaohu, 23. Uzi, 21. These are players who have been in the LPL for years. They have been conditioned. They know how to deal with the weight of this scenario. But Invictus Gaming on the other side, the Shy, he's 18 years old. Jackie Love, this is his first year at 17 years old. These are young guys trying to stand up against the best team in the world.
That's why community pressure feels unwarranted on talent like Jackie Love, because for him, 1 year in, this is his rookie season, and everyone's expecting him to challenge the best. Challenge Uzi. Yeah. That's rough, dog. I'm honestly sure his regular season has been great, but when it comes to crunch time, you can't expect a man like this to be able to do it against the best in just such a short time. So I'm actually pretty happy that he's on this stage and he's fighting back. There is confidence in him. And while there are mistakes being made here and there, he's still willing to just jump out and make the same aggression.
He's fighting back, but he is aggressive. And that is the key word, Raz. I like that you bring that up, because Jackie Love, to me, is a star. He's not a superstar yet of the LPL, but he is one in the making, as he has got a lot of potential behind him. In his first split of the LPL, he lost. IG were devastated, but he was the one that consoled Rookie when Rookie was breaking down. He showed, for a 17-year-old, an unbridled amount of maturity you do not expect to see from someone like that, but that is only a positive omen. Comes into summer and is playing like the Jackie Love we know in the finals, and that is the biggest promise yet.
He's only made a few mistakes in these series, but we have to celebrate how strong he is to play up against Uzi, the best AD carry, if not the best player in the world right now. Quick update for you folks at home. We did have an in-game issue from one of our players. We are chrono breaking to 21 minutes into the game to try and resolve it. We do not know if that includes the kill onto Rookie, but we will be checking. We've got people looking into it right now, and it does include the kill onto Rookie. I just got it in.
I was just about to say, because it feels like the moment he died, the pause happened. So even if it just happened a second, that means he has a chance.
As they were in transit, we're going to chrono break.
As he has 1 HP. No,
give him another chance.
That's good. I'm glad that it does actually include the death. That would have been very tragic if it had to be, a support player's issue that results in the mid laner getting caught, not happening at all.
And you can imagine his response the moment he gets back into the rift, just turning around and flashing away to try and put some distance between him and the Nocturne. But we'll hopefully get that game started back up as quick as we can.
That being said, it double hurts for RNG that set up for that play. That it was the Nocturne ultimate to the side, the Rise ultimate that was looking for the shot. And so that all worked because they were hidden. So now they know. If that includes the play, and we'll look at it once it comes in, then Rookie has a second shot to be able to get out of there. And sure.
No, he's dead. He's dead.
If he's dead, then thank the Lord, because you better earn that kill. They did a lot. Bless.
Certainly did. But now Invictus Gaming, they've got to start thinking, what's the next step? How do we move forward? We're a mid-game composition in the mid-game. But Royal Never Give Up are giving us the fight of our lives.
Yeah, I think that this should be great in terms of seizing control of the Baron area. It's great for giving RNG sole control of the game. Invictus Gaming have a good comp if and when they have pressure on the map, that they can look to move from lane to lane and siege on towers. And sure, they have a Mountain Dragon if they ever have that shot versus Baron, but that's not a given anymore. Right now, RNG have full control of this game 5.
So now we're going to take a look at that kill once again, up to the 21-minute mark and 0 seconds. So there's the Realm Warp Paranoia. Clock is ticking.
Yeah, 21, he is dead to rights, I believe, from that point. So
yeah, 1000%.
That's perfect, that's perfect. As the pause came out, actually, is when we're going to be chrono breaking too. Curious to know what the moment.
But MLXG is looking very pleased with himself, coming in to be the clutch player in Game 5. And while everyone else is biting their nails, looking nervous and tense, he might be off to a Sunday stroll with that smile.
That's why I like the fact that he's come in this late, because what is a bogged down atmosphere for RNG, losing 2 games in a row, just a fresh mentality is so crucial. And yeah, MLXG is going to be getting talks from his coaching staff of what to do, and the strategy definitely changed now, them prioritizing blue side. But I just love the fact that it's going to be MLXG that's pushing his team forward and giving them that shot, because you do need that change in attitude.
Yeah, both junglers can, of course, be playmakers, and the big differentiator here is the choice of the Nocturne, where I don't know if Casa wants to bring that pick out. It feels like that may be the difference between these players. Very confident choice of the Nocturne to be seen here from MLXG. Very confident use of the champions so far in Game 5.
And it's so wild that it's MLXG in 2018. We have to remember 2017 RNG, one of their biggest weaknesses was that MLXG, a very talented player, did not connect with the roster. When he did was when we saw them succeed, but there were so many times where he would greed or play for himself. But 2018 tells a completely different story.
Yeah, in 2017 it was just about on and off. You would look at one week and say, well, MLXG is certainly the best jungler, and then certain other weeks where it's just not the case. And you're right, 2018, there's a lot more consistency, but the styles still reign true that Mr. Consistency is Karsa.
Yeah.
And that you would rather have Karsa for those games. But with MLXG, and you saw that in Asian games, he brought in the extra level of pressure. He comes in and he forces you to make a mistake. So that's why you want to bring in MLXG, not just because, hey, you're bogging down in attitude, but he makes you second guess yourself. And that's what's been happening. Sure, like Nocturne's pretty slow in game, but like he was far behind and he was able to come back by just a change in pressure.
And I mean, the curious thing here that we have to wonder is usually MLXG starts in, creates the pressure, forces you into weird situations while Casa's learning the pathing, learning the steps to success, and then he comes in and wipes the floor with you. Was MLXG doing the same thing? Is he able to work with Heart, come up with the pathing and learn what the successful steps will be for RNG in the early game? Because so far, he lost the early game jungle pathing when you think about it. There was an extra red buff at level 1 that went over to the side of IG, and the jungler didn't really have a massive impact until the level 6 point onwards when he got that 1 ult in the bottom lane.
Now we've got a chance to take a look at that dragon fight one more time and see how MLXG kicked things off with that Paranoia to chase it down.
The Rise positioning was so crucial because, Jackie Love and the rest of them had to go down the bot side if they wanted to be able to get to safety. But they had to re-engage because Jackie Love and Baolan were in such a bad position. So I thought, you know what? Invictus Gaming put in 110% so they can secure the dragon, but MLXG didn't care about the steal. He was hovering over the wall so they can secure the fight.
And walking away from Rookie, what would have been a guaranteed kill so that he can flash and catch up to Uzi to turn onto Jackie Love. That's the sacrifice That's the reason that MLXG is here today. That's the same selfless choices we saw him showcase in the Asian Games esports demonstration event.
We all know that when RNG play on Summoner's Rift, then one focal point that they have is Uzi in his decision making, and he does have a big say in the team, with the team fighting, with the shot calling, with all of that. He knows what he's doing, and a lot of people say that he's almost mechanical, he's inhuman. No one can be as smart as he is, even through laning, but he knows when to make the correct decisions. He knows the perfect moments to pounce, and so if he says something, you should listen to the call.
It looks like the players can finally start talking to each other as the fans continue to cheer them on. Xiaohu was just smiling a moment ago as comms resume. Or at the very least, we're trying to get these issues resolved again. We had an in-game issue in Game 5. We initiated a chrono break to try and reset to 21 minutes just after Rookie had been picked off by MLXG and Xiaohu. And once that is complete, we will be getting back into this Game 5, this deciding match. And we're already 21 minutes into it.
Yeah. And
the end is in sight.
It's been so good for Invictus Gaming in this game in particular up until that point. I felt like bottom lane, while they were not chipping down the tower as you would expect out of the double counter matchup, they were at the very least trying to consistently layer down the pressure to allow Ning an opportunity. So this is what you would expect out of them. They're doing their jobs really early on, and there's a good chance that they can stop the next Baron play. I think that they're going to be on for a little bit longer, and 21 minutes is not a lot of time in terms of death timer. The death timer should be still relatively short for Jace. So
yeah,
we're at a position where they can clear it back up. And remember, with the double Mountain Dragon that Invictus Gaming have, they're just one miracle play away from being able to get the Baron and have a similar situation in what happened in Game 3.
Absolutely. I mean, the thing that you have to remember is they can definitely take the Baron quickly, but Jace is one of those champions that is very reliant on tempo and control. So if he falls behind and it feels like the Jace is now starting to fall behind, as he's a big focal point for RNG, then it becomes a little bit harder to make those plays, you know, to siege, to set up in a lane, and not just expect RNG to come at you with everything that they have and force the 5v5. Because, you know, after this pick, once we get back on, I don't know if RNG would ever consider just hitting the Baron straight away. It's too early. I think we'll have to look and see if maybe if Ryze has the blue buff, they'll consider it, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they'll just take the pick, maybe threaten the turret.
Yeah, I would expect them to just put down better control wards around the Baron so they can come back onto the map at a stronger place. Because Invictus Gaming, you look at the comp as you've mentioned, it's just not there for the 5v5. And so that's just going to be an RNG to start playing this one a little bit more methodically. They can't be making any more rash decisions. And I know that a lot of times MLXG himself talks about himself as a rash jungler, someone that wants to be on the map fighting a little bit more. And he made crucial mistakes in international events, but he's learned from that, and that's been the story of MLXG. He's gotten stronger and stronger, and junglers who's either been behind him, we're talking about Pepper, Karsa, they always just look at his play and marvel at it a little bit. They're like, it's working really well.
How do you do what you do?
Yeah,
it's always
it's like, it's not the perfect play, but it works out perfectly. The mind of MLXG works in fabulous ways.
It is a very mysterious place to try and understand. Dissecting how MLXG thinks. He's a very aggressive person. He goes for the crazy decisions all the time. And they may be crazy to us, but to him, that's just a play.
It's the normal. It's the standard. There's a reason that he's found himself on RNG, because when those plays work off, they do wonders for this team.
And he doubles down. He doesn't care about his KDA, much like that Dragon fight. He's willing to sacrifice himself for what is a objectively good fight to take.
But now we're zooming back into the Rift. Looks like the issue has been resolved. And there it is, Rookie falling down. Now IG was in rotation to try and defend him. Remember, the stopwatch from Rookie stalled it out. But you can hear the fan chants once again.
Nothing actually comes from the kill. So to take stock of the game right now at 21 in, we mentioned it's double Mountain Dragons. IG, in response to Rookie dying, ran to top lane to defend it, which opens up the mid lane, but Ning's already there. So you can tell that there was already a plan. Everyone was thinking through what our next steps will be after Rookie dies. Nothing massive comes from it.
And even without communication, Invictus Gaming are able to defend and hold the seed.
And at least we get to see what the hell they did afterwards. What
Yeah.
I mean, at least we got that clemency.
Few
We
more.
know that they were able to control both mid and top lane. That being said, RNG, the one thing they get out of this is pushing lane. So wards are the really only big factor. They have base now, which means that they can get control wards and dart back to the top lane. It's going to be a very linear game because at this point, split pushing is going to put your team at a detriment. It's not going to mean anything because if you are not with your team, much like the Shy in the last fight towards bottom side of the map, you will just lose.
I think the one breaking point, the one consideration that I would have for the Invictus Gaming side of the coin here is if Jace veers away from full lethality in the second item's Blade of the Ruin King.
Yep.
You know, often Jace will get Blade of the Ruin King in his item build, but the question is, does he go one lethality Blade or does he go two lethality items into the Blade? I think given how the game's going so far, if he goes Blade second, that could actually open him up into going to potentially side lanes, maybe looking for kills on the people like Let Me.
And that's the question that you have to ask for Rookie, a player who historically has not found success under pressure in Game 5s. Only this year against Rift Rivals did we really see him come into his own in these high-pressure situations. And right now, all signs are pointing towards double lethality as Youmuu's and another serrated Dirk is on the docket, plus even more long swords to stack up. So he's still trying to rise to the challenge.
Yeah, I gotta wonder if he's going towards the Duskblade with how handsy he's been getting in the skirmishes, or if he goes for
Edge of Night.
Edge of Night. There's two options there, and I think the Edge of Night would make a lot of sense because there's a lot of dive options, CC options from RNG, just to get himself out.
Absolutely. I believe that's the place that he should go as well. So Edge of Night, I would say personally, is a better option. Duskblade for burst, though. Depends really what you're after. Rookie's an aggressive player, put it that way. So as a stylistic choice, he may shift it up as he pleases. But really, when you look at his build, you look at who can he damage on the opposing team, the answer is Uzi. Everyone else has an armor item, so the lethality is not working in full effect. It's not a true damage build by any means. It's just good damage instead.
Once again, getting this pause out of the way. Again, this is Game 5. This is the entire year worth of effort coming down to the next few minutes on the Rift. A single team fight at this point could determine the momentum that decides the entire game.
And speaking of momentum, it's so disruptive for the players.
Yep.
You know, you have to go into a pause, you have to chrono break the game into 2 consecutive pauses afterwards. The flow of League of Legends, a lot of it is momentum. If you get a lead, you push the lead, you push the tempo. But with the constant disruptions, a lot of things get reset in terms of control, in terms of thought process and decision making. So through this disruption, could be a blessing in disguise for IG, given that the tides were turning in RNG's favor. It's very hard to definitively say.
Yeah, at this point, there are too many intangible. At this point, a lot of the players, it's a disheveling feeling where you come into these situations and you feel like the game should be playing one way, but all you have to do is to focus on the reality and the situation coming forward. So for RNG, you just got to push past it. You are in a great position, so you just have to focus on one thing and one thing alone when the game truly starts.
Got that late game scaling if they can make it that far. They've already shown us spectacular team fighting with this composition.
Use your noggin.
Just need to make it through towards that point if they want to close this series out. As Invictus Gaming still trying to stand defiant, trying to stand tall. But you already mentioned how important momentum is for these teams. And with that stalled out once again, Invictus Gaming with this mid-game composition might be starting to frown a bit.
Remember that overall momentum does still belong to Invictus Gaming. You can see nerves visibly on the face of RNG, especially coming into this 5th and final game. On the verge of being reverse swept is a place that no one in League of Legends ever wants to find themselves. One of the worst feelings you'll ever experience as a player on the Rift. So coming into this game, the disruptions, they're very unfortunate. But for RNG, it's a lot of time to focus on the game at hand, and they can pretend that the prior 4 games never happened. It's just the best of one.
Yeah, you can't have those excuses while they may be valid. The reality is just that win. We're back on the Rift. We're going in for it.
23 minutes into Game 5. And if my ears do not deceive me, I believe we just heard that the LCK games have just finished. So welcome all new viewers to the best region in the world.
You calm down.
You
where
had to, didn't you?
Royal Never Give Up are taking on Invictus Gaming in Game 5. And after all our pauses have been resolved, Dragon has spawned. Baron is on the map, and IG are playing towards the river. Even the Shy is on the way. They're turning onto the Baron.
They've just been spotted immediately, however, RNG, whilst they're in position, let me even walking up the river on the bottom side from the Dragon. He's going to be an ult range in a couple seconds.
Knock up, Realm Warp. They found the Paranoia. Stun is ready, but they've left Ning behind. He flashes back to dive into the back. Bowlin and Jackie Love are the targets, and they go down. Uzi is free firing. The Shy tries to stand tall, but the Guardian Angel will be popped. Fear Beyond Death. Lemmy dives in as Rookie finds a blast, but MLXG survives. And Roy will never give up. Find 3 kills.
And that's a fridge of a bodyguard. There is no way Rookie gets past Let Me in that situation. And RNG fires back.
And you can hear the crowd, they're chanting RNG. They get the team fight they're after, and Ming on his Alistar is the one that kicks it all off. That's exactly what they're after. The kind of plays that will break the map open. It's Xiaohu pressing R, MLXG turning the lights off as well, and everyone just going in. And it's a thing that they had planned.
There's a teleport right back in. Invictus Gaming are returning to the scene of the crime. Let Me is right there. He sees that this is happening, but the cooldowns aren't ready for RNG.
RNG are going to be here in time. They need to be so careful, IG.
That's the Weaver's Wall. MLXG into the pit, tries to get it.
No.
Smite is a bit too late. Jackie Love gets it, but the fight breaks out. Let Me in the front, flashes away. Xiaohu dealing damage as Uzi starting to step up, but Ming is dead. MLXG goes down. Let Me with the knockup on the
Wait a minute.
He's firing. He's found 2 kills. Ning's back against the wall. He finds himself another. IG get the Baron, but are forced to run.
2 Barons, but at what cost? RNG has a wave mid lane, and they should be able to barrel it through.
There was a world where MLXG gets that as well. That was so risky from Invictus Gaming. That has to be acknowledgement of this is where we're at in the game. We have 2 Mountain Dragons they've recalled. There is no time like the present to go for the objective, to make one of the riskiest plays that they have made in League of Legends. They get the Baron, and I think they'll be just very happy that someone lived.
Rookie and Baolan make their way out of the pit. Let's see that fight again. Ning tries to split it up with the wall.
The Flash MLXG knew it's come down to this. 940 HP on the Baron does the difference.
And Ning didn't even smite. That was not him using smite to secure that one at all. That was an auto attack from Jackie Love afterwards. And then you see Xiaohu and Uzi, they step up to the plate and everyone has to eject the arena immediately. Ning selflessly steps in front of the bullet and gives a second person their avenue out.
Just feels weird. I mean, for Invictus Gaming, they thought they were winning the fight. They were in a position, I was like, it's looking good for us. We can take the Baron and the fight. But then you forget while the HP is getting dwindling from Let Me, MLXG, they're not the carries. It's Xiaohu and Uzi that come forward from what was essentially the 3-man tanks, the bodyguards that were taking the billets, and they're coming through and they're able to wipe it up.
But we've got to look at the trade. Cloud Dragon and 1 turret for RNG, but IG with the Baron buff and a siege composition now are able to set things up.
And
they
also
find themselves in a bit of a deficit, but are happy to trade back.
Big item spikes now come across the board as well. So they've completed the second lethality in the build. The Duskblade is done. With the Baron buff, you mentioned a siege composition, 100% what they're capable of doing. But that's when you look back at RNG and you say, at what point do they just say go? Nocturne goes in, Alistar goes in with the Hex Flash, and they pick the fight.
You saw it happen last game. I mean, at this point, you know that Let Me's not there. The next wave is going to take a while. The fact that RNG cleared this up was so crucial. That's a long time before they can look for a siege again.
Now, Let Me has been seen on the other side. Seismic shove onto Xiaohu. He goes gold. Ming tries to body block. Gets caught in the Fear Beyond Death. Teleport to get Let Me in.
This is
but
big.
The siege is successful.
This is really big for Invictus Gaming because that's Ming gone. It's a 4v5 and it's still the Baron buff. That's one of the big beefy members that stands in front of Rookie's Shock Blast.
45 seconds. Weaver's Wall separates the turret. RNG forced to pull back. 5 versus 4. And as the timer runs out, IG continue to push forward, breaking down the inhibitor. The mid-game siege is successful.
There we have it. IG coming back. No chance to retaliate RNG.
And IG with the risky gambit take the Baron, and just in time, only a single minion wave short of the full duration, break the inhibitor 3 turrets deep.
We have our answer. Is the Baron worth losing 3 members and a turret? The answer is definitely yes if you break an inhibitor. 100% worth it because they actually stem the bleeding on top of getting an advantage. That's brilliant from Invictus Gaming. but it was brilliant off the back of a 50-50 smite, so they couldn't have made it more risky for themselves. But here we are, they've done the hard part.
3 50-50 smites in a matter of days, and IG just keeps coming out ahead. Throughout the regular season, they only lost 1 50-50 smite. They only got robbed of 1 Baron, and that was against Carson in the regular season. So for them to be so confident in these situations, they don't do it often, but when it happens, it counts.
And I say they've done the hard part. I am absolutely lying because they haven't killed Uzi yet.
I can't trust you.
6-0 and 7 right now.
Yep.
If you want to win this game, you've still got one big raid boss left in front of you, and he will not go down without a fight.
But that's the poke and the piercing arrow.
Stop
He's
it.
taken to the sky. Seismic shove flashes away, but he's already used everything defensively. Baolan steps up, builds the wall. Lemmy does as well. Uzi with the late cleanse walks it back to Shy, looking to chase. Uzi's still alive, but they managed to drop down Lemmy. Ming separated. The tanks are dead. Ming flashing over the wall, finally dies to Jackie.
2 necessary kills, 40 seconds on Let Me and Ming. This is tragic for RNG.
And no Baron, no problem Invictus Gaming. With the tanks gone, this is so easy to get access. Nocturne cannot afford to step up, but someone has to. Something has to give, or IG will just slowly win this game out.
This could be it. They're pushing onto the inhibitor, and there's a massive minion wave building up top. As 5, they continue to siege. Uzi dodging everything for his life.
It can't be. MLXG has ulti. You have Uzi still alive with Xiaohu. They have all the right members to take the fight. With Ning not having HP, it's not that easy, man. Invictus Gaming have to have one more fight in them.
They can siege, but they can't dive as effectively. You get to see the fight here again, and it starts with
oh my god, stop it.
From
Stop
Barris
it.
as well. Rookie is the one who starts it off. And as the fight happens, look at the Shy, because he has so much control. He bodies out Uzi with no summoners, with no capabilities to get in, and doesn't die. During all of this time, Barris, Blade of the Ruined King build, remember that, shreds tanks, and that's what they're after.
Gargoyle Stone Plate on him, as you mentioned, just jumping through. Why not pause it? Sepiamo, what's happening? At this point, it's looking so good for IG. The Shy, a team fighter, coming in. That was insane. I mean, you said they had to get through the raid boss. They were definitely hitting them. There's no HP coming right back. That was the most fragile raid boss I've ever seen. He doesn't have the range, and that's the problem.
But Raz, this raid boss has an enrage mechanic.
Yeah.
They're getting dangerously close to that threshold. Uzi knows. You can see it on his face. It was his mistake in getting hit that cost his team so much. But now he gets the chance to reset once again as we find ourselves in our next pause.
It's quite simple, he steps up 1 second too soon. He steps up before the tank line can be there to soak damage for him, and it means that he cannot clear the waves, and that's all it takes. We've said this about RNG. If you make a single mistake, Uzi pounces. RNG win team fights, RNG win games, and even an entire tournament. But IG are proving that they can do the same thing right now in this 5th game. If one person makes a mistake, and it just so happens to be Uzi in this case, they capitalize on you. That's a turret, that's a second inhibitor that just went down. 3 turrets back to back through that side of the map.
Invictus Gaming with the mid-game siege composition are able to swing momentum back with one of the riskiest Baron fights we have ever seen against Royal Never Give Up, trade 3 kills, and reclaim control after RNG were winning fight after fight, finding pick after pick.
Yeah, they knew that time was against them, so that was so crucial to get back into it. That being said, you can never sleep against the Rise. When you know you have double inhibitor, but you still have to get the job down straight down the mid lane. And so we've seen how creative Xiaohu's been on the Rise pick, sending people down in the flank, and it could be Ornn. So you have to be ready for that fight. Yeah, here we go. I mean, we've seen it too often.
Yep, RNG are the team that does this. If they get Rise, very creative use of it, like you mentioned. Alistar is a big pick for them. They have drop shipped. Even week 1 of this split, I remember seeing it. Alistar gets dropped in, Ming gets dropped into the back lines and just causes havoc.
On that very powerful Alistar in this game 5.
Are we in?
As we're getting back in, the pause resumes. 30 minutes in, 2 inhibs down, 3 turrets remaining for Royal Never Give Up. But they have hit their stride. They have the ability to team fight.
And they could well be 1 team fight loss away from being reverse swept in the finals. RNG's run the golden road the whole way. If they could get themselves to the finals, they'd be looking at Worlds saying, you're next. IG have said, not yet.
Got to keep your eyes on the opponent in front of you instead of looking towards that horizon. Now Infernal Dragon in 40 seconds. RNG trying to push out to take it, but it's only a few seconds after that they're in spawns.
Exactly. I think this is good for RNG, knowing that they have an option to trade. They would love to challenge Invictus Gaming here, but if they can hold him down, there's no wards around Dragon. They can try and sneak Dragon and look for a fight around Baron.
Yeah, I definitely think the Dragon will just be snuck away, or a single person will go over. I don't think they'll overcommit their resources unless they absolutely have to. RNG may not even look at it at all. I think they are far too stuck.
What?
That's the paranoia from MLXG. Gotta wonder what the purpose of that was, as Invictus Gaming set up mid, force Uzi back. Now he has completed his Mercurial Scimitar. You can see he's got some lifesteal.
They're going for this.
Chasing it back down. That's the Righteous Glory exhaust. Uzi still walking it off.
They forced them to run away at full speed. Baron is up in 3 seconds. They saw Xiaohu bottom. Look at the super minions in top lane as well. They are so poised.
Yes.
Weaver's Wall, but Let Me opens up a path. RNG trying to catch up, but it's double mountain for Invictus Gaming. 7,000 health. There's no paranoia. MLXG tries to go in, but it's picked up. They've got the knockup. Uzi's kiting it out. Calling the Forge God for Let Me as he gets a good knockup. It's only under one. They're trying to keep the Shy off Uzi. He's got no flash. The front line goes in. Ming will be the first to fall in this fight. Jackie Love is chasing it down.
No way.
Super minions are on the Nexus, but Uzi is chasing it down. He's still firing. I cannot believe it. Finally batted against the wall. He dies as RNG. The fight is chaos, but they are coming up even in this. Still, they take the fight and Bowland goes down. RNG still alive.
But the game's not over yet. Super minions are pushing towards the Nexus. Bowland is just buying time.
Let Me wasn't recalling. Finally, he's making his way back, but that's enough time for Xiaohu to walk it off. Super minions finish off the Nexus turrets.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, RNG. Last game is a good indicator of what's possible. Teleport on Jackie Love and the Shy and their carries. They can threaten your Nexus no matter what. So RNG has to stay in their own base, take that L until they take a real team fight.
And you would expect Invictus Gaming now, they just move over to the Infernal upon respawn. Now, Uzi does do a lot of work in this fight, but that's mostly Let Me zoning the Shy away. The person that I want to bring to attention is the way Xiaohu navigates a lot of this fight, because his positioning threatens the carries with Let Me for so long that they can't deal damage effectively, and then Uzi just free hits everyone for as long as he can. Eventually, the Shy overruns him.
And that was a hero play from Rookie, because he already knew, as you mentioned, that Ryze was putting in too much DPS, but they couldn't kill him. Not enough members there. But if he flashes forward to net the lethal damage on Uzi, Uzi would die, and your team fight chances would be a little bit better.
And Let Me started his recall at the end of the fight, but still had damage burning onto him from some red buff, some sort of burn that canceled it. Standing in the river for a few vital seconds.
You're just one rush away from it. IG knows it.
And they'll just be thankful that the Ryze belongs to RNG. Because if that was an IG site, we all know what they would be thinking right now. IG have a siege composition. The inhibs are coming up very soon as well. Maybe 1 or 2 more waves in the bottom lane of Super's left. You can see they're trying to pressure. They want the side waves to work towards them, but RNG have already set them up. IG have 1 lane to work with.
Even a Zerat portal to keep RNG locked into their base.
1 auto left.
Uzi cannot walk up to this. If he takes too much damage, he goes down. MLXG hovering in the wings. He's got Paranoia ready. Level 16. Jackie Love steps forward as the inhibitor is about to respawn. This is the last super minion, but with Baron for 45 seconds. That's the Weaver's Wall.
No Alistar.
Ming has been split off. That's the tank. That's the support.
Ming's flank is massive, though. If they commit to walking forwards, IG, they get caught out of position. Look at MLXG waiting patiently as well at the mid lane turret. IG need to back away. They need to respect that they haven't set up a side lane. They haven't set up multiple minion waves.
Yeah, they need to be calmed down. Top lane wave is strong for RNG, and the mid lane tower is still up. So at this point in time, playing a little bit too quickly, they thought they could have gotten it 1 fight away, but RNG standing firm.
Invictus Gaming stand at the precipice of closing this series out. 10 turrets down, and it's only a 2,000 gold lead with a 7 turret advantage for IG. Uzi nearly at 6 items, 4 items on Xiaohu. MLXG trying to match with 3 of his own. Can Invictus Gaming do it? Can they forge their own fate?
That's the thing, you got to go through Uzi, you've got to go through Xiaohu, and Xiaohu is really feeling himself. You ever see his player camera come up, there is a intensity in that man's face that is unrivaled by anyone. He is so prepared to get that miracle fight, and they do require something special, but the goal difference is only 3,000. IG have control of the map, yes, but RNG are still strong, they are still well equipped to fight, and if you take a regular front-to-back 5v5, I think RNG would still come out on top in that.
Remember, Steric's Gage is actually on MLXG, so the pickup is crucial. He stays alive a little bit longer. He can threaten the back lane a little bit more. With Sha, who was already doing it, that might be enough space to really count. So you're right. Team fight's there for RNG. It's been there for some time. It's just that Invictus Gaming have been finding really good poke on them.
Now it's all about Uzi dodging that poke. 6-item Xayah, 36 minutes into the game. Invictus Gaming, they have transitioned out of that mid-game, and now the baton passes from Rookie and Ning, hard carrying in that mid-game to Jackie Love. Can he shred through the tanks fast enough? But RNG,
they've got a moment. They've got the map open for them in its entirety. Inhibs are up. They've got mid lane. They've been able to step up with a more aggressive stance on the map as well. A one-team fight in this area of the map could end the game.
Here we go.
He's on the flank with Call of the Forge. Got immediately gets soaked with the Realm Ward. Ming is coming in from the side. Uzi walks it in, dives into the back, but they reset the position, killing Baolan. Now the Shy, pinned against the wall, is snared. Shock blast, but the rest of IG cannot chase. They have to leave the Shy. They have to lose the fight.
But they know what matters here. RNG are just going to run through the mid lane. Ultimate from Talia holds it firm. The rest of IG have one focus left.
And look at Rookie, he's trying to dodge through this vision. He could be looking for the back door, but Letme is on his case.
It's just buying time. If they're lucky, they'll get an inhib in the top side. You'll see Letme stop this right now. But IG, they've cleared a lot of the minions, and they are just holding on for their lives. As teleports are used, they really want to kill Rookie now.
They're really chasing him down. Uzi is looking for it, but Rookie is running for his life.
Oh,
The
no.
hero play. It's a cleanse. He's trying to get out. The GA flash.
Woo!
Daggers misses. The cleanse. The speed. Is it enough? Searing charge. And Rookie goes down. Ming, meanwhile, fights Jackie Love. No, it's chaos for Invictus Gaming as they are falling apart. Flash over the wall. Jackie stands proud. Jackie Love.
Oh my God!
I cannot believe it! Xiaohu looking for another kill. Ning goes down. Jackie Love of the GA goes down. Royal never give up. Have done it.
RNG might have just won the game. They've got 40 seconds. So many dead. Just the Shy left. It requires a miracle to stay in it.
There's no way he teleports to go back in there. Too much to deal with.
The Shy, one man against an army, one man against all of China. Cannot hold his ground. He dies. And RNG today, they sat down as players. But after this, they will rise as kings. Long may they reign. Royal never give up. Or your 2018 LPL champions.
You could feel it, man. Uzi's camera when the kills came through. They had no idea how this game was gonna shape up. The moment they start coming through, emotions flowing out.
They said before the day started, Uzi wants a challenge.
He picks it up immediately.
He was pushed to the wire, but they come out on top in the end.
Royal will never give up. The best team in China as they tackle their coach in a moment of victory.
Kesman, and you know Hard's coming in right quick.
Casa, of course, as well. MLXG comes in just for the 5th game. The hard yards were done by Casa. MLXG comes in and hits it home for the side of RNG. They unite as a team to get the victory in the end.
There you have it, man.
And only one tournament remains for Royal Never Give Up, the World's Tournament. They have got every championship that has been put in front of them so far, and I hope the rest of the world saw this performance, and I hope they are shaking in their boots.
You look upon gods today as Royal never give up. Take the series.
You better hold it high, dog. Hold it high.
Tears of joy as his team is able to close it out.
因为其实我们真的这一年大家付出的努力特别多，特别是每个队员还有教练团，就是能够再次拿到夏季赛这个冠军，真的我们所有人都非常的给力，我很感谢我的队友还有教练。
We're extremely happy to be able to take down this championship cup. It was spring and then it was summer.
你说出来的下一个目标，夏季赛再次捧杯，现在所有人都等你一个答案。下一个目标，队伍的目标是什么？
What do you have to say to the fans for this second championship?
我觉得 S8的冠军是我们的。
Not getting the second team.
代表之后，我相信此时此刻兄弟们还有很多话要说，但是我们要先进行一个冠军荣耀的一个颁发，因为现在2位颁奖嘉宾也已经准备就绪了。那么同样的话，我们首先将为我们本次的夏季赛的冠军颁发属于他们的荣耀，让我们请出的就是腾讯互娱英雄联盟品牌及电竞负责人金一波先生，全队游戏中国区业务负责人林松先生，有请2位。
And now we're going to head towards the awards ceremony.
再次站在了这个舞台的巅峰，最终将要为他们颁发荣耀的嘉宾也已经准备就绪。同样的话，我们的冠军奖金也已经送到了台上，有请2位为 RNG 颁发属于他们的奖金牌。 同样，我们一起看一下前面，合眼留念，所有的召唤师们，给到他们一些呐喊声，好不好
All the fans, all the audience in the crowd, let's give them a round of applause.
好的，在这个荣耀颁发完之后，2位请留步，因为接下来的话，同样我们还是要共同来见证在本场另外一个激动人心的时刻。 看完了这个精彩绝伦的 BO5，每一位参与到比赛的都是属于所有召唤师们的英雄。但是我们的总决赛有一个总决赛 MVP， 大家心中答案，他是谁
MVP. And Uzi will be your 2018 Summer Finals MVP. Everything going right for Uzi in 2018. He's still on the path towards the Golden Road. We're all witnesses today to the achievements that Uzi has accomplished. We now announce the winners, the champions of 2018 Summer Finals for the LPL. We also want to applaud Invictus Gaming for also making wards. There are no losers today. Invictus Gaming, they have worked so hard for this to earn what they deserve. Don't go anywhere, we still have 3 teams in the regional finals. Our motto is all we fight for. We want to see who will be the final seed that LPL sends to Worlds. Thank you, everyone. This is the end of the 2018 LPL season.
And there it is. Apparently it's just not possible to beat RNG. They are the unbeatable team out of the LPL in 2018.
Came pretty close though. Uzi though, real casual about how he walked off the stage. First person to grab the trophy. Loved that they handed it to Karsa and seeing that emotion out of him. Karsa, one of the many players that we have in our league that has a dual title in both the LMS and the LPL. I believe Imp also comes to mind with an LCK title as well as an LPL title.
Yeah, I didn't believe it could be a more star-studded roster, but after this year they picked up so many accolades, they just got even better, and they have literally ascended to godhood. It seems like it's impossible to bring this team down. The year of the dog, the golden year, the sky will be golden for RNG.
And this is just such a massive year for the LPL as well. So many teams improving their rosters. Invictus Gaming finally going over the last hurdle to come here and finally make it to Worlds. We're happy for all of the players in this region. We've seen the rise of TOP, JD Gaming, Rookie, and Karsa coming over from the LMS. I was teary-eyed right there because this is what we came here for. This is what we came here for. We wanted to play in a more competitive region to really show what we can do, but we needed a better league. Lots of more talented teammates, and we finally found all that, like
there's no
leaving home, coming here, and it's just, it was all worth it in the end.
I mean, that's the big thing. Karsa had the opportunity. He could have gone anywhere. He was with the Flash Wolves. He was winning time and time again, but he makes the jump. He says that he wants to win. I know that there was a huge bidding war for his contract, and he picks RNG because he wants to win championships, and he did that today.
That was a good bet. He made a real good bet. I mean, this is the one year that you wanted to do it as well. Everything just came together for RNG. It could not have been better. Literally, the stars have aligned, and not even Invictus Gaming with Rookie right here, the redemption story. Not even that storyline could be enough to topple RNG.
I mean, the nice thing is that if you're an IG fan, you can at least look at Rookie, you can look at the shot, you can look at Jackie Love. Every single member had their clutch moment this series. Yeah. They took it all the way down. It was a chaotic back and forth. I think everyone was pretty much just jumping up and down, screaming what was going to happen. Rookie tried to make the hero play. You could see exactly what he wanted to do, but it just wasn't enough. The
composure from IG is what really shook me. Right down the line, they had to go for that Baron call because they had no other options. The side lanes were slipping away from them. They had to be now or never. They had the good poke comp, they had the 5v5 comp, and they had the idea to actually go with that. How many teams in the world would actually go for that play? It was so risky, but they kept their calm. They pushed RNG to the absolute brink. 3 inhibitors down. It was so close for them, but I still have to feel glad for them. This is tremendous growth for this squad.
I can only think of 2 teams. It was the 2 teams behind me here today, Clement. But here we go. That's going to be the end of the LPL here in Summit for this year in terms of the regular season, but we still have the epilogue coming your way for tomorrow, and the day after we'll have the regional qualifiers coming your way. Now, JDG, if you haven't seen them, this is a powerhouse team who have broken into the top 5. If you're looking at EDG, they come into the favorites in that matchup.
And likewise, JDG just took Invictus Gaming the other day to 5 games. IG really had to stretch their legs to take down JD to even find themselves into the final. So that is a super intense matchup. And like you're saying, I favor JDG going into this.
Definitely, I feel that way as well. And really, we've seen in the regional qualifiers that top lane is becoming more important. You can't just do the EDG style and forget about your top lane. Every single lane matters, and that's why Zoom and JD Gaming, they did manage to trounce EDG previously in the playoff bracket.
But then there's also concerns for Rogue Warriors sitting into the higher seed for regional qualifiers. Because again, if we're talking about top laners, Zoom is clearly the best top laner in that bracket, and our Rogue Warriors are trying to figure out who is actually going to be their starting top laner. Is it going to be Holder or is it going to be Mouse?
And for RW, that's a crazy storyline at the very end of the split, because they literally just came in like the final 2 weeks when everything was already locked down, and it's just like, oh wow, Holder apparently is just the best option for top lane now. Many questions as we head into the regional qualifiers. RW going to be that final boss. But guys, do you have any closing comments to round out this year of the LPL before we head to regionals tomorrow?
the year of the dog.
It's been an amazing year so far. I hope everyone can recognize that the LPL, we produce the best games anywhere. You can't see any of those crazy plays. There are no players like MLXG. You're not going to find another Uzi in another league. You have to catch it here at the LPL.
Yeah, and for now, that's going to do it for the summer split, but we have the after story coming your way. Thank you so much for watching. On behalf of myself, everyone on the English broadcast crew, the casters, Fruskier and Clement, everyone here, thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you again tomorrow.